The danger surrounding K2 has been dominating the news, so we wanted to bring in an expert tonight to go in depth about what happens to a teenager who gets hooked on this synthetic marijuana. We're joined now by Raj Mehta from Serenity Therapy Center in Rochester Hills, and thank you so much for coming in.
My pleasure to be here
tonight. First of all, this drug can kill you. Let's be clear about that right off the top, right?
Yes, exactly. A lot of kids go into using K2 and spice believing they're using some kind of synthetic marijuana. They're walking into a buzzsaw. This drug causes seizures and psychotic behavior. Marijuana doesn't do that. And so we have people that are trying to avoid drug testing for probation, trying to avoid drug testing for mom and dad, and trying to be clever. And so they go in there using this K2 and spice thinking it's going to be similar to marijuana. What's very different is the physical dependency. A lot of these kids are becoming physically hooked on K2 and spice.
Within like 2 months?
Within 2 months, even as short as a month period. And before they know it, they cannot function without it. They have to use K2 and spice to get to school, to do their homework, to go to sleep. Then when they want to stop, they're crying their eyes out. They can't stop.
So you say they think they're being slick, meaning if mom and dad is drug testing a kid at home, this will not show up.
Exactly right. The standard drug test, the 5-panel, the 7-panel, the 12 panels don't show up for K2 and spice. And so in the criminal community, the kids that are on felony probation, misdemeanor probation, they know that. And so that's where a lot of the momentum came from. The kids are trying to be clever in the beginning. And so later on, they end up having this problem where they cannot stop using the drug.
Now let's talk about the behavior a little bit, because we talked about the grandmother who ended up shooting her grandson, and you believe that psychotic behavior may have played a role in that.
Absolutely. I have clients that I deal with. Families come to me with addiction, and they have kids that are smoking K2 and spice. But these kids have very aggressive behavior and psychotic behavior. They're getting physical with their parents. They're breaking things. They're punching holes in walls. They're pushing through the doors. They demand to have the drug. They're stealing money out of mom and dad's purse to get more of it. And so it won't cause mental illness per se, but if you're inclined towards mental illness, it will push you over the edge.
Now, if you haven't seen that psychotic behavior yet, what are some of the signs we should be looking for?
So some of the earlier signs and symptoms of K2 usage are going to be the eyes and the behavior and the attitude and a little bit of isolation as well. You can see the general, it's affecting their functioning. It's going to begin to affect their grades. You're going to see them hanging out with kids that they previously probably didn't want to hang out with. And also, you notice something about them, they're a little bit more disheveled, and there's the attitude that goes with it, this negative attitude that ties into the drug usage, and people don't understand me, that personal fable.
So if a parent is at home listening to you and thinking, oh my God, that could be my child, how do you get help?
Well, you contact someone like me or contact Brighton Hospital Serenity Therapy Center. You have to get educated. Knowledge is power. And so the drug tests are available. We can test for K2 and spice. You can bring them to me. I do a lot of interventions for a lot of families.
And one last point that's really important, the distribution centers that are putting this stuff out there, you know, why are they not in trouble?
Yeah, because they get around the law. They have every packet of K2 and spice says not for human consumption with a wink and a smile. We all know these kids are smoking this stuff, and everybody
it really
knows
is poison.
That. Absolutely.
Okay, Raj Mehta, thank you so much for coming in and sharing your expertise tonight. We appreciate it. He does have a book. We'll have it on our website.
Thank you so much.
Thank you much. Stephen, I'm going to send it over to you.
All right.